Hello, and what do I normally say? I don't normally say hello. I've been
Mouseketeers.
Yes, there you go. Hey, fellow Mouseketeers, Englantine, the homegrown tourist here. This is the second time today I've messed up an introduction on this channel. I've been doing so many videos. Yesterday, me and Gail, we went out to Universal to see what Christmas decorations they had. So today I've been playing catch up. So it's do a video here, do a video there, and I've been getting.
How were the decorations?
Yeah, they're really nice. The tree wasn't lit up. It's not yet time to light the tree. So we did get some photos and everything. It was really nice. Gail works out at the at Diagon Alley, and she loves the decorations there. She wanted to get some pictures as we walked around that. And
I can imagine. Harry Potter is actually a really good series for like Christmas atmosphere.
Yeah,
always the Christmas scenes in every movie because it was always such a big part of the book.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah.
We will if we do a stream. I would like to share some of those pics. Unfortunately, my camera, the one that I had on a gimbal that with all the stabilization and everything, that got stolen. So I'm now back to the cell phone, and since priority has to be get a new car and get my family out of this house into our own place, I can't buy one. So I'm kind of limited on what I can do out at the parks these days.
I don't know personally. I haven't used it. But like the Pixel 3a, if you're thinking about getting a new phone eventually, say that one's crapping out on wrong channel, sorry.
No, it's okay. Crapping out is okay.
Okay. If it's crapping out on you, there's the Pixel 3a, and the Pixels have some of the best cameras on the market. Okay. It's a cell phone, but it's still,
Well, that would be nice. It's really the stabilization, because when you're holding a cell phone, the picture.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I'm really trying to get to. But anyway, we walked around. We took a lot of pictures rather than video, and it looked really nice. It does.
I heard they have artificial snow at Hogsmeade and places like
they
that.
do that eventually. Right now it's too early, so they're like just getting ready because they want to have it ready for Thanksgiving when all the families come in, because that 1 week, it's actually only about 4 or 5 days around Thanksgiving, is just packed. Never come during Thanksgiving. Definitely never come during Christmas. Never come between December 18th and January 8th. If there's any message I could ever get out there that I think needs to be out there for people, that is the one. That is absolutely it. It's just way too packed. So let's see. Can I view this on YouTube? Okay, I usually have that up. But the real point here is that I was just so busy that I'm forgetting everything. But while I was after I did a whole bunch of videos, me and Gail sat down. We were having dinner and we watched the live action Lady and the Tramp.
All right.
And so I figured, hey, we got to talk about this. Now, you may know that I love every live action movie. I think The Lion King is possibly the greatest film ever put to screen.
The live action Lion King.
The live action Lion King is better than The Godfather. It's better than Rear Window.
Wait till the end of the bit.
Absolutely, yes. You know that. Dalton's like, and he's doing this thing again, right? Yeah, no. Lion King was horrible. I'm not a big fan of the live action movies. But you know what? I want to give them their due. I want to, at some point in time, go through them and do are they really that bad? Are we attacking them because we love the classics so much we're not really giving them their due, or are they really that as bad as we think?
I've only enjoyed one of them.
On which you're talking about, I think. Mostly.
Say again?
I said I think it depends on which you're talking about. I think some of them genuinely do deserve to exist, and others are just like, why?
Go ahead.
There's one that I enjoy, and that's The Jungle Book. The Jungle Book's my favorite live action remake because it takes a movie that I did not like and made me enjoy it. So I know
I enjoy the live action Beauty and the Beast. So there's that.
I love the classic Jungle Book. That was one of my first Disney movies, so it's got the nostalgia factor. Plus, I love the music.
The music's great. Of course, the music's great. You can't beat that. But the movie itself it wasn't that good. The live action one made it a full story, it felt like to me.
I can't. Your parents were never married.
But they were. They are.
It's a good film. I like the classic. But the remake, actually, the live action remake wasn't that bad either. Once again, I would love to go through and not compare them to the classics, but watch them on their own merit. Because I think when you see it the first time, definitely, it's hard. It's hard not to compare. And
what we need to do is grab a man who's lived under a rock for like 60 years and never has seen a Disney thing.
I've never seen one Disney movie before. Let's watch these classic. Hey, you're talking about my dad. So, and here's, and you know what, with what I just said, I've got to put that caveat to this, that, I did watch the movie tonight, and I do have to say, I'm going to compare it a lot with, the original. With the original. I have to, it's just, because the original does exist. And when I was watching it, the first thing I said, actually, Gail was watching, I said, oh, well, there's a difference right away. And she says, well, what's the difference? I said, you can't see it? You don't notice it? Because to me, it was way obvious. I mean, just boom. Oh, my gosh. It was kind of jarring. And she goes, what? I said, we see the adults. And they never showed the adults. Well, they showed them, but it was always from the waist down. The point of what Disney wanted to do with Lady and the Tramp, the cartoon, was it was all from the perspective of the dogs. So you only saw them from the waist down. And then the second thing came, and by this time we still haven't yet seen the people, like it's all been long shots and that kind of stuff. So we haven't yet seen them. And I said, well, okay, here's the second thing. She goes, what? At this point, she just wants me to shut up and let's just watch the movie. And I said, she called him Jim. And I do believe we get her name as well. And I said, and Dalton, do you know this one? No,
I did, but my brain is blanking.
In the original, it's Jim, Dear, and Darling. They don't have names.
Right. Okay.
Because once again, it's from the perspective of the dogs, and all she hears them say is, Jim, dear, yes, darling. So that's how we know. That's how we know who they are, and it's from the perception. Live now. I'm sending this tweet out, so excuse me, I didn't do this before. Talking about the live action version of Lady and the Tramp.
Did you say Lady and the Tramp?
No, I said Lady and the Tramp.
I didn't hear that P whenever you said it right now.
No, I heard the P.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also phrasing.
No kidding. Yeah.
Lady and the Tramp.
Yeah, phrasing, definitely phrasing. No, but so yeah, that was another difference I noticed right away. And then there was one glaring difference, which we're going to talk about a couple of times, and that is that Darling is black. That's going to come up later. Okay, we're going to set that aside because obviously, to our eyes, means nothing. Means absolutely zero zilch. Don't care. I've been in interracial relationships. So many people have. Doesn't matter.
But
one
time period, though.
There you go. Let's bring that up. Okay, we'll talk about it now. I was going to talk about it later when it was a little bit more relevant, but we'll talk about it now, and then we'll go. So one of the reasons why Disney will not release Song of the South is because it portrays slaves in a light that kind of, I don't know, it kind of washes over. Yeah, not why. Yeah, it kind of washes over the struggles that they went through. Everybody's singing, they're happy, and it's kind of false as
sugarcoating.
Yeah, sugarcoating is a great way to put it. Yeah. So they won't release Song of the South because of that. But here they have an interracial couple in what looks like 1940s, 1930s. They're still driving horse and buggy. So I assume it's even earlier than that. So it's like maybe the 20s or the 10s.
Yeah.
Okay.
So all of a sudden, the movie can't be about dogs anymore. This movie has to be about how did this couple gain the acceptance that they had
in
that day and age in this American town in 1910. That's what the central movie should be about. Just, you know, because everybody's, hey, how you doing? Congratulations on the pregnancy, and not, of course, how it probably would have gone down.
Yeah.
So I thought that is amazingly distracting, unless, and here is something that it could be, and this would be awesome, unless the actress, I'm sorry if I didn't pull that up, but unless the actress is actually playing a white woman. I know, right? Mind blown. that
hurts my head.
The only way this works, the only way this movie isn't about how a interracial couple survives in 1910s is that the black actress has to be playing a white character named Darling. Ta-da. That's true.
And we just got called racist by the entire
probably so. But the thing is I'm not the one that cast. I'm not the one that put it in that time period. Here's the thing. This is also this could also be taken to France for Beauty and the Beast. They want to be. They're trying to be insensitive by of course having a diverse cast, and I absolutely agree with that. But you should also make sure it's good for the time period.
Okay, wait. Who is black?
Darling, the wife.
That's a little okay. That's a little more believable. I thought you were saying Jim was black, and I was like, "That's there's no way."
Because there is this there is kind of an important dynamic thing that's we're paying attention to here, which is a lot of the black stigma was black and male, not just specifically black. It's kind of
okay.
It's kind
okay,
of,
you can say you can buy into that, but I just thought it was kind of jarring because they won't put out Song of the South because it whitewashes it sugarcoats the slavery thing, but this sugarcoats the problems that interracial relationships had at that point in time. And in all honesty, I'm probably thinking way too freaking deep for a Disney live action remake.
Yeah.
But that's what hit me. I was like, oh my gosh, you know, and as soon as I thought about the one thing, I thought about the other, but what about the ramifications here? What did they have to go through to get to this point? And that's a movie I want to see. You know, because that's some real drama there. Okay, so moving on from that, it starts off and it's not exactly the same. We see her get Lady. We go through the same thing where Lady won't come off of the bed, but you know she's getting pushed out of rooms because she's always in everything. That she becomes a part of the family, and we see her get her collar and she goes out and she talks to Jock and she talks to Trusty. Trusty is voiced by Sam Elliott. And I thought, good call on this one. That's really good. Trusty is the bloodhound. He's the, it works. It's very well cast. They gender swapped Jock, which didn't make any sense. Even Gail's like, why did they keep her name? If they're going to make it a girl character, why is he called Jock? Or why is she called Jock? Doesn't make sense. Give it a new name. That's
confusing.
Yeah, but I mean that was played very well because the owner is always putting sweaters on, and you know she'll talk about other people's weird lives, but then goes to get the new costume that the owner has, and I thought that part was cute. Hey, Undead Quinn, how did they pull the diverse cast in Dumbo by ignoring the racism of the time too? Sometimes they do that, but I don't remember that one too much. We'll have to check that out. And I love Science Girl too. Science Girl. Dumbo. Yeah, we're talking about Lady and the Tramp. But yeah, that's in the Dumbo. I'd have to rewatch that. I saw it once at the beginning of the year when it came out, and I would love to go through these live actions again. But we meet the characters; they're fine. It does take a little getting used to for a female jock and everything, but I'm happy that it follows the story along well enough. One of the great things, this is a really good thing, I thought, was that when Lady first comes out of the house with her collar on and she's like, "Hey guys, I got my," and she kind of sniffs the air and she follows along and she sees there's a rat getting into the eggs and the milk that's left by the milkman. And I like the fact that they set up the rat before. And by the way, if you haven't noticed, spoilers, that they set up the rat before the end of the movie, because the original, the rat just comes in out of nowhere. This establishes that there is a rat that lives somewhere on the grounds. Mm-hmm. And I like that. I like that. I like Trusty. Then we meet Tramp, and he's voiced by Justin Trudeau, which is an actor that I always forget until somebody shows me a picture. And I'm like, oh, okay, that guy. Yeah,
wait,
he's
Justin Trudeau?
Wait,
am I saying it wrong? Yeah, you're right. That's not it. No, not the dude from Canada. What is his name? Justin Thoreau or something like that on it. I'll check it out.
Thoreau. Yeah. Okay.
Lady and the Tramp. 2019.
I'm just like, did the Canadian Prime Minister?
Yes, the Prime Minister of Canada. Yes, he's the one that's playing the thing. That's why it is the way it is. Justin Thoreau. Yes, he's an actor that I'm like. I don't know you. And then they show a picture, or I'll find out what he did. I'm like, okay, it's that guy. You know, the bad guy from Charlie's Angels 2. Tess. Yeah. One thing that got Gail really quickly was Tess Thompson does the voice of Lady. But in the original movie, she's highfalutin. You know, she's upper class. That's why she's Lady. And Tessa Thompson's voice is really down to earth. And Gail wasn't a fan of that because she thinks, you know, it's the difference between the two that really sells it. And
yeah, Lady's supposed to be posh, basically an aristocrat almost.
Right. So that was that. And at that point, they go through all of the story, you know, the fact that he's being chased by the dog catcher. He ends up going to the posh neighborhood. He sees Lady, of course, the aunt comes over because Darling is pregnant, very pregnant. They're having the shower, and the aunt is played by Yvette Nicole Brown from Community. She played what's her name? And it was the black girl from Community. And by the way, I believe that Yvette Nicole Brown is so freaking talented. She should be far bigger than she actually is. And she sells it. She is pitch perfect in this role. I loved every scene she's in. There's even a mention. Lady jumps on her lap and she kind of freaks out and she tosses her down and she talks about how much cats are so much better than dogs are. And she could be the evil godmother in Cinderella. She played this really pitch perfect. I'm telling you, she was awesome. Or there's a scene where, you know, where she takes Lady to the pet store after the cats. I'm wondering if I should skip this part. But after the cat scene, the Siamese cat scene, she takes Lady in, and the way she talks about, this animal can't be trained, she nails it. That her performance is worth watching. But let's talk about that cat scene. So a while back, Gail's snoring. So I don't know if it's going to pick it up. But a while back, we got my wife's snoring right now.
It's not picking it up. All we see is you randomly looking over at
I know,
things, randomly stopping,
I'm
talking.
like, should I turn off now, or should I turn up the gain so everybody could hear it?
I can't hear it.
Okay. But so they go out of town, of course, and the aunt comes over and she brings her cat, same as everything. Now remember, we were told they did not want to do the
We Are Siamese.
We Are Siamese because it's racially insensitive. So out pops these two cats, and they're evil, and they're talking about how they're going to be all kinds of trouble, except for they're speaking in a black voice. They're doing the yo, yeah, we're going, and it's just it's a very inner city, almost like Ebonics kind of thing going on. And well, it's not Ebonics though, but it's obviously two black actors. Yeah. And then they're talking about all the mischief they're going to cause, and then they destroy private property all over. They just destroy the rooms, and they cut. And I'm like, is this any better? I mean, seriously, it seems like it really just yikes. No, they do have a song while they're destroying the house. They do have a song. What they don't have is "We Are Siamese, if you please." They've got a new song. They wrote it, yeah, and it's all about how much trouble they're going to be, how bad actors they are, and yeah. And I'm like, oh my god, no! It's you're trading one racial stereotype for the other, and it's not working, guys. Did anybody talk to you before you did this?
Okay, like at least the Siamese one made sense because they were Siamese
cats. Like, yeah. And the thing is at this point, that is so iconic. No, I don't think anybody would notice, tell you the truth.
No.
I really don't. I mean, at this point, it's... I remember watching it as a kid. Didn't care. I thought it was a fun song.
And here's the thing. If there is anything offensive, quote unquote, about the Siamese song, it's just the slanty-eyed animation of the cats themselves.
Yeah, like so cats naturally have anyway.
So just depict some Siamese cats that don't have the slanty eye thing, ease up on the accent a little bit, and then do the We Are Siamese song properly.
Oh, and dear Disney, Thailand hasn't been called Siam in a long time. It's okay now. But yeah, that scene came up, and I was like, yeah, I don't know if I care for that. So of course, lady, she's got the muzzle. They're putting it on, so she escapes, and that's where she finds Tramp. And then they go through the normal thing. It's the story, it's just like the movie. They teach each other about the street, and they end up behind Tony's restaurant. And Tony comes out, and he's played by F. Murray Abraham. Good job, F. Yeah, I didn't know he could sing, but so he gives them all of the he gives them all of the spaghetti. We got the scene, and then they sing Bella Notte, and I was okay with that. That was well done. It was a very well done song. I had nothing bad to say about it. And it goes along with the story, the same thing. And when I'm saying this, a lot of times I was like, okay, you guys are padding this out a little bit. It's kind of going slow. And I think part of it was because I've seen this. And then I started talking to Gail. So I found out a big problem about this movie. It doesn't work for a lot of the same reasons The Lion King doesn't work. Because The Lion King couldn't show, all the faces like they do in animation. A lion doesn't make, I'm scared face, and neither do these dogs. Now, this could be done well because we see it done in Babe. Babe, it conveys emotion nicely. These dogs don't.
I remember in the trailer, the one thing that I could say is that it looked like they did give a little more emotion to the dogs than they did for the animals in Lion King. So they didn't?
A little bit. But
dogs naturally have a sort of emotion in them, though.
Yeah, you can tell when they're happy. You can tell when they're But that's part of the problem.
It's also kind of baffling to me because from what I remember of the 101 Dalmatians movie, the dogs in that were pretty good at acting.
Let's see. Undead Quinn is saying replacing black singers inside over the old ones. Yeah, that's how it came off. Now, look, you can watch it and you can go, well, I'm not hearing the same thing you are. Okay, I understand. That's what I heard, and I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe they're doing this. Yeah, I'm sorry. It just seemed misguided what they were doing here. So it goes along, and once again, I'm another problem I have is the backgrounds, the city, everything. It's too real for the story you're trying to tell, and it almost seems, I don't know, it just seems out of place for these dogs to be acting.
The original was very stylized and very much so
on purpose. And so you could get a romantic feeling for the characters, which are two dogs rather than two humans. And this time it was just weird. It was just, I don't know, it just didn't click. And like I said, the movie's not all bad. There's just certain things that didn't sit well. Then, of course, we know that the dog catcher comes, he catches a lady, but Tramp gets away and lady's thrown into the pound. And that's where we actually met Peg before, but this is the second place we meet Peg. And she starts talking about the Tramp, and she quotes, like just in the movie, she says what he said just to show lady that he's not exactly the most sincere dog you're ever going to meet. Mm-hmm. And then she goes into he's a tramp, and this is Janae Monet. Well, let me get the name right. Janelle Monáe plays Peg, and so she goes into he's a tramp. And one of the things I was worried about is oh goodness, Peggy Lee did He's a Tramp in the original. Mm-hmm. It's about as fine a Disney song you can ever hear. It is awesome. I love He's a Tramp from Lady and the Tramp. Great song. So I was really worried about this. And so Janelle starts singing, and I was like, oh my goodness. That is some sweet, sweet music. She nailed it. I was like, oh my gosh, that was really cool. She does it in that same kind of 1950s suave style that Peggy Lee had. I was really impressed with this.
Okay, so they didn't update it as like a rap or talk singing or
I was so afraid of that, but they didn't. It wasn't jazzed up anymore. There's no rap, there's no runs, because I was afraid of he's a tramp or something like that, and to ruin it. She does a really good jazzy number, man. Seriously. It is done. Yeah.
That's good.
And one of the better things is that she's a real dog, and she's circling. They've got her circling lady, and then she becomes a computerized dog for the song. And it took me a while, but okay, something's going on here. How did they train this dog to do that? Oh, and I literally, it was my brain clicking just like that. I was like, wow, that dog's really well trained. And then
it must be good that you didn't notice then.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Then it occurred to me how little I noticed when they went from a real dog to a computerized dog. Now, granted, there were some movements after I noticed there were some movements that they were doing, because she's doing a little dance like in the movie. I'm like, okay, yeah, that's obviously a computerized dog. But just the fact that my eyes had to adjust and go, that's how they're doing it. Because my first thought was they really did train this dog well. So, yeah, the hair is rendered so perfectly on her. So it really is a good job. Like I said, this isn't a bad. I can't really say it's a bad movie. And from there, it really just follows the story along. She gets the owners come back. They kick the aunt out for being, bad to their dog. And the dog catcher comes over because he has a feeling Tramp's going to show up. And you know the story. The rat comes in, attacks the baby. They follow through that. And then, of course, Tramp gets taken. He's in the cart. Same as I say spoilers, but if you saw the original movie, I'm not revealing anything. except for the small differences. And here's one, and it really bothered me. This bothered me. One of my favorite scenes of any movie of all time is do you want to hear this? Because I know you haven't seen it yet, Prof. You know, so in the original movie of Lady and the Tramp, all throughout the film, and they do this too in this one, Trusty is talking about Old Reliable, and he's talking about his nose, how I could smell a fly 7 miles away, you know, that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. And so Tramp is taken in the dog pound, the dog catcher's wagon, and he has to catch up to him. And there's a scene where he's sniffing around, and Jock says, and this is in the original, Jock says, "Oh, Trusty, it's time to admit the truth. You lost your sense of smell." And Trusty looks up like he's really mad that he even suggested that could ever happen. And that's in the original movie. It's one of the most powerful scenes, but it's not the most powerful scene. At that point, he's following along, and he lost him, and everybody's just lost faith. And then, you know, you see Jock, who understands what he said was true. Trusty lost his sense of smell, and he's sniffing around, and then Trusty kind of looks up and gives out a "Arr!" and starts running. And ever since I was a kid, chills fill my body at that scene. I love that scene. It's one of the best scenes in any movie ever of all time. So I was waiting for it. I'm still freaking waiing for it.
What did they do that was different?
So anyway, they do. He's sniffing around the roads trying to find the cart, and he says, I'm sorry, I just can't find it." And so Jock yells at him, "Are you kidding me? I'm running around naked and I'm doing all this, and you saying that you're gonna give up? You can do this, Trusty. You can do this." "Yes, ma'am." And then he sniffs around and he runs off. It's like, no,
so
that is
nowhere the great moment to the female dog character instead of the actual person or the dog it pertains
to. Well, it's not even that. See, the original one, we know that he can't smell either, because he's smelling a cricket at one point in time or something like that, and he's describing, "Oh, I can smell it. He's 6 feet tall. He's human," and he, you know, and then we see what he was smelling was a cricket and not a human. So we're told that he can't smell. So when he does finally, you know, when Jock says that we understand you lost your sense of smell, we're there because we know he lost his sense of smell too. So when he puts his head up and howls and runs in the direction of the thing, we're like, yes, you know, and that's what makes it such a great scene. And that's what makes just the ending of the film so freaking powerful, because it's Trusty who then runs out in front of the cart and stops it. That doesn't happen in this version of the movie. In this version of the movie, Jock, who's got tiny legs, can't keep up and can't do anything, and finally makes it, and finally runs fast enough to get in front of the cart and causes it to tip. It's so Trusty's big moment completely wiped out of the film, so they could give that to Jock. And from there, everything follows the rest of the film the same. And what we get
that explains
is
the gender swap. Because that would explain why they switched it so that they could give a female character that moment, or they gave the character that moment because they casted a female. That's me being a little tinfoil hat, but that
could be me. You know, for the women's part, because they did that again, where the dog catcher declares, "I'm going to take you into the pound, even if I've got to walk you there." And it's Darling who says, "Something has to be done," and gives the baby over to Jim Deere. And she turns around and goes, "You're not taking that dog anywhere. He's part of our family." And so they take it, they adopt Tramp, and it ends. Basically, it ends the same way the the animated movie does, with, of course, the puppies, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah,
it's not a bad movie. It's got elements to it I don't like. I'm telling you, watch the animated scene just for the ending. And you know what? Now that I said it like that, and you guys have heard this, I doubt you're going to be able to watch Lady and the Tramp without focusing on that scene now. Yeah. One of my favorite of all time, I'm telling you. But it's not a bad film. It's just a completely unnecessary movie.
Like most of these remakes.
Well, yeah, but at least I can see Aladdin being entertaining to kids today. I could see Aladdin being entertaining to kids even more so than the animated movie did, a little bit. I mean, it's brightly colored. There's good special effects. Iago turns into a huge bird at the end. I can actually understand some kids liking the new Dumbo versus the older one. There's certain things I could see kids loving about the remakes that but this one I don't. I can't see it. This one is completely unnecessary. Just watch the original Jungle Book, like Dalton said. I think a lot of kids could enjoy that as much as or even more than the original cartoon, even though that's one of my favorites.
Which is honestly why they probably put it on the streaming service and didn't do it as an official.
That maybe. What were you saying, Dalton?
So where do you put it in terms of where you rank it, the live action reboots?
Off the top of my head,
yeah,
because right now I can't even picture all of the reboots and all of the remakes and such like that. Well, here's the thing: would we count Maleficent 2 as a remake or just Maleficent? Because Maleficent 2 is a remake or a sequel to a remake. So I don't know if I would count that. Same as I don't.
Either we should count both of them, or we should not count either of them, because
but the thing is, it
doesn't really follow Sleeping Beauty very well.
Yeah, but it is a remake, but that one's based on the movie. This one's based on the remake. So I would have to say no, we can't count 2. I
didn't see 2 because I didn't like the first one. So.
I didn't like it either. So I would have to say it's Lion King is the worst, and then it's Maleficent is the second worst.
That's the order you have to go. You have to list it from worst to okay.
Then Beauty and the Beast, and then probably Lady and the Tramp. Yeah, I'd put it there.
What about Cinderella?
I haven't seen Cinderella in forever. Aladdin, once again, there are certain musical numbers that saves that. I actually don't mind Friend Like Me, and after you get past the beginning of Prince Ali, I think it picks up, and I'm thinking, why didn't you do this from the beginning? It turns into a Bollywood musical number, and it should have been that. Every freaking scene should have been this way.
Yeah, they really should have Bollywooded up as much as
absolutely, because when they do that, it's amazing.
Yeah, especially with Guy Ritchie, because he's the king of stylization. So
yeah,
that could have really worked. But
so
alas, no.
So Undead Quinn is pointing out something that in the Dumbo remake, they also skipped the Crow song, which of course, but I've got to put this out there for Undead Quinn. That in the Dumbo remake, they really didn't have talking animals. They didn't have, even Dumbo didn't talk. Jumbo, the mother, they didn't talk or anything like that. So I can see them not doing. Yeah, even Baby Mine wasn't sung by the elephants. It was played, but
I have to say they could have still done the Crow song. With humans, but.
Well, yeah, actually, Danny DeVito recites a few of the lines. You have seen a housefly. You've seen, and yeah, he could have actually sung the song as an introduction to what they're about to see with Dumbo. And I agree. That would have been pretty fun as well. I think that would have been good. So there you go. That's my review of Lady and the Tramp. It's a little lengthy. but I just kind of wanted to do that out there. Wow, 40 minutes talking about Lady and the Tramp. That's almost half the length of the movie, which I think is part of the problem. I really do. I think the movie just runs on too long. They could have cut down a couple of scenes where you see the dogs running around and everything, and it would have been a lot better. So there you go. So I don't know. Did I talk you out of watching it, or are you going to check it out and come and give us your own?
I mean, yeah, I'm going to still watch it. I just have to get around to rewatching the first one, the original, and then I'll watch the live action.
Okay, you know what? You're going to watch the original. You're going to get to that trusty scene, and you're going to go, Eglinton was right.
Your wife's not awake. You can say
I can say it. Yeah, she hates it when I say that. Eglinton is always right.
No, it's that the words wrong and Eglinton hardly go together.
Yeah, the word wrong and Eglinton are hardly go together. But you're gonna watch that. You're gonna see that scene, and like I said, you're not gonna be able to watch it the same way ever again. And when you see the original, you're gonna wait for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I want to watch that scene again. But yeah, there you go.
That's can with Disney Plus.
Yes, we can. I know. I'm loving this. Obviously, I can't get onto it from the computer yet, but I've been enjoying the heck out of it all day long on the Xbox.
I know it's getting off topic a little bit, but I've seen some things people talking about how it's still crashing all the time, and I don't know what people are talking about. The app is still working fine for me. I can pull it up on my phone and use it just fine.
I'm not having anything crash
other than the laptop.
But no, it's not crashing. I just can't get on it. I'm on a computer. I've got 3 terabytes worth of memory on this thing.
Is it still not letting you log in?
Yeah, I can't even click to log in.
Yeah, I don't know why you're having that issue, but it's
try rebooting your computer and see if that helps.
Oh, you know what? I have not yet done that. I'll give that a try. That's a good idea. Thank you.
And that is a good idea. But I've also been seeing people say about how, Disney should have expected the traffic they've had, and there's still people talking about how. I just think it's a little ridiculous.
The Verge has announced that 10 million people signed up on the first day.
Yeah.
That is a lot of people.
And they signed up on that day, right? So it wasn't or signed on or signed up?
Well, it says I only read the headline. Disney surpasses 10 million subscribers on first day.
Yeah. I can easily believe that. And all those people are trying to flood on in. And Disney has to react to that situation. It's not something that you can just prepare for. There's a lot of things that go into it.
Now, when I go to Bing, I type in DisneyPlus.com. At the very least, I can get it so it's spinning. But on Google, I can't even get it to react. So
yeah, you might need to you might want to reboot your computer. See if
I may just. Yeah.
After this, obviously. Right now. No.
Yeah, I'll do that after we're done here. So yeah, but there you go. I'm still looking forward to what Disney Plus has. There's going to be some good stuff. There's going to be some bad stuff, and I'd go over some of these live action a second time. At least the ones that I haven't seen in a while. You know, let's give them their day in court. Let's see if they stand on their own. You know,
you still need to watch like Darkwing Duck and of course Gargoyles. Watch Gargoyles, darn you.
That may be something we could do as a watch party. Let's just get together for a half an hour every night, watch an episode of Gargoyle, and talk about it.
So
you just want a reason to have more watch parties.
You know what? I do, and I think that would be kind of fun.
That would be fun.
It's Gargoyles, though, so I am on board.
Gargoyles.
Do you have that, Dalton?
Huh?
Do you have that, Dalton?
No, I don't.
Gargoyles.
I don't have I don't have gargoyles anywhere to the best of my knowledge. Although I might actually let me look on Amazon and see if they have it. I know Netflix doesn't have it.
I have some doubts that they have it. If it's on the Disney streaming app, I have doubts that it's anywhere else.
It's probably exclusive, but you never know. So let me look. I have heard that the creator wants to do another season for it now that it's on Disney Plus, and I hope to God they give it to him because, okay, the thing is, after season 2, there were kind of rights issues with Gargoyle for whatever reason, and so season 3 got a retitle, and a lot of people don't consider it canon because it was so bad. So I'd like an actual proper season 3 to Gargoyles, frankly.
Well, if a lot of people are watching it on Disney Plus, Disney might consider doing that, because anything that's going to be so if you get it, you might want to just keep watching Gargoyles. That way they see that people are watching it, even if it's just you.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? That's not going to be a problem for me, because in my humble and probably controversial opinion, I will say that Gargoyles is almost on par with the Paul Dini, Bruce Timm DC animated universe.
That's actually not an unpopular opinion. I've heard a lot of people say that it's the same kind of quality. So
it's probably one of the best animated shows that Disney has ever made.
Okay.
I've only ever seen like 2 episodes of Gargoyles, so I don't.
You're too up on me, man. Seriously, but yeah, I'm willing to check it. I'm willing to check that out. So, gang, I'm going to end this so it's not a complete hour. This is our review of Lady and the Tramp. But thanks for Undead Quim for listening in. I appreciate that, and you guys for joining. Even though you didn't see the movie, you basically listened to me describe it and review it for 45 minutes. I hope I haven't ruined it for you.
No.
Yeah, because if you watch it and you're like, what is he talking about? This movie's fan-freaking-tastic. By all means, when we get together again, call me out. I want to hear it. I would like to see that, especially if you go, yeah, I like the version of the trusty scene in this movie, but then our friendship is ended. But the other than that would be fine. No, I'm just kidding. But anyway, guys, once again, thank you very much for joining us and for clicking on, for checking everything out, for being a subscriber or watcher. If you haven't done that yet, please subscribe, hit that notification bell, the whole 9 yards. And as always, thank you very, very much for watching, and see you real soon.
So long.
Cheers, guys.